Hello everybody, my name's John, a retired cook from the northeast of England in the UK, and welcome to my latest video recipe. And in this one I'll be making 4 of these irresistible corned beef and potato pasties. And I'll be using my very own homemade corned beef, but obviously you can use canned corned beef too. You can see the ingredients list and full written method for this recipe on the recipe page on the channel's website. And the link to that page and lots more is in the description box under the video. Just find and click on the word more, and that'll give you access to all the relative links for this video, including our website store products. Okay, let's get on with today's recipe. I'll start the recipe by making the filling, and the first job is to peel and dice the potatoes. Choose a variety that's good for mushing, like Morris Piper, King Edward or Yukon Gold. They're all good choices. Now, as this is a relatively small recipe, it's easier making a double batch of this filling, and I suggest you do the same. I'm using half today and freezing the other half for the next batch of pasties. To get them to cook quicker, cut them into approximately 2.5cm or 1-inch pieces. Now get them into a pan, give them a good wash and just cover them with water. Add a ½ teaspoon of salt. Now get them on the hob, and as soon as they start to boil, set your timer for 15 minutes. Next ingredient is 100 grams, that's about half a medium-sized finely diced onion. The next 2 ingredients are not traditional, and that's a couple of finely diced cloves of garlic and a pair of jalapeno chilies, also finely diced. They're not essential, but they add a wonderful extra layer of depth and warmth that takes this whole plain corned beef filling to another level. But if you prefer the traditional corned beef pasty filling, just leave them out. For this recipe you'll need a 340 gram or 12 ounce can of corned beef. In my case, I'm using the same amount of my homemade can-style corned beef. And if you want to know how to make this amazing corned beef yourself from scratch, check out my video tutorial. There'll be a link in the description. Right, that's all my ingredients cut and ready to go. And a chef's perk, got to try a little piece of that corned beef. For the seasoning, we definitely need salt. Now I think the white pepper is essential in these pasties, and plenty of it. Right, after 15 minutes your potatoes should be ready to mash, so get them over to the sink and drained. Now because I'm using my homemade corned beef, I need to add a little butter to the potatoes, but if you're using canned corned beef you can leave the butter out, as there's a lot more fat in the canned meat. Once mashed, add the onion, garlic and chilies and give those a mix in. Now you can add the corned beef and get your masher back into it. And a very quick mention to the channel's Patreon, PayPal, Super Thanks and YouTube's new membership supporters. I'll do the name splash and shout out a little later in the video. Okay, now it's time to season, starting with the salt. And the final ingredient to go in is the white pepper, and like I said earlier, plenty of it. Now I've got a saying, when adding white pepper to corned beef pies and pasties, just when you think you've added too much, put a little more in. Right, have a little taste, and just as I thought, it needs a little more pepper. Now give that a final mix and get it chilled down. Okay, it's 30 minutes later and I've divided the filling into 8 equal pieces. 4 for today and the rest will freeze for next time. Right, a quick word about the puff pastry. This first example is the store-bought puff pastry block, which is the right weight what you need for this recipe as well, 500 grams. Or you can use the ready rolled version, but unless you buy 2 you'll have very small pasties. But for this very special recipe I'm going to use my very own homemade puff pastry. I have a full video on how you can make it yourself too. I'll leave a link in the description, but don't let anyone put you off from using store-bought puff pastry. Most cafes and restaurants use it these days. It's extremely good quality and convenient. And I'm not being sponsored, by the way. For rolling the pastry out, I'll be using our adjustable stainless steel rolling pin. These amazing rolling pins take all of the guesswork out of rolling your pastry out to the exact thickness. And for this one I'll be using the pastry spacer, which is the 1/8 or 3mm spacer, and these are available on the website if you're interested. You'll also need a large baking tray or cookie sheet, dimensions are on screen, and you'll also need 4 pieces of parchment paper, and those sizes are on screen too. Time to roll the pastry out. First, dust the bench with a little flour. Now whatever version of huff pastry you're using, place it on the floured bench and give it a dusting too. Now simply start rolling backwards and forwards in straight lines. Keep turning and dusting the pastry as you go. What you're aiming for is a rectangle 30 by 36 centimeters or 12 by 14 inches. Once you reach the required size, sparingly trim off any wonky edges. Now divide the pastry into 4 equal pieces, and your sizes should be 15 by 18 centimeters, that's 6 by 7 inches each. Now stack the pastry and the parchment papers together as shown. First a paper, then a pastry, and so on. Once stacked, they need to rest for 10 minutes, so get them into the fridge until needed. They should be ready for the next stage by the time you get your work area cleaned up. Before going any further, preheat your oven to 170 degrees Celsius, that's 340 Fahrenheit, or gas mark 3. Time to assemble these wonderful pasties. So get your pastries out of the fridge, but just one at a time. They will have contracted a little in the cold, so give them a gentle roll to restore the length. Now turn the pastry perpendicular to the paper. Working on the parchment paper makes everything so much easier. Grab one of your 4 fillings and place it on the pastry and spread and shape it like so. Now get your egg wash, which is made up from 1 egg and a dash of milk, and brush all around the edge of the pastry. Now I like to add egg wash on this bit too, as it helps the filling stick to the top of the pastry when it's baking. Now carefully fold the pastry over the filling and line it up as shown. Gently press all of the air out as you go. Once you're happy with it, give the whole pastry a good coat of the egg wash. Right, almost done. Now grab a fork and very gently seal down the edges all the way around the 3 sides. This seals the pastry and it leaves a nice pattern. And while I finish off sealing that pasty, why not get up to date and join in all the fun with everything that's happening on the channel by joining our monthly newsletter. There'll be a link in the description if you want to check it out. Okay, using your paper, lift the pastry onto the baking tray. And that, folks, is the genius of working on parchment paper. You don't even have to physically touch the wet pasty. And there's absolutely no need to even grease the baking tray. Okay, final job is to cut 3 vent holes in the top of the pasty. And here's the other 3 all done and ready to bake. So get them into your preheated oven, which should be set to 170 Celsius, that's 340 Fahrenheit, or gas mark 3. Now set your timer for 30 minutes. With Christmas just around the corner, here's a quick word about my 5 recipe books. These carefully designed books, with most recipes linked to the corresponding recipe on video via QR codes, make fantastic presents. So, to avoid the holiday rush, get your orders in early. The link for the books and all of the other equipment I use in my recipes are in the description box under the video. And thanks in advance for supporting the channel, guys. Okay, time's up on these gorgeous pasties. And they're looking amazing. And that aroma is absolutely mouth-watering. I'll transfer them to a wire rack and let them rest for a few minutes. And when I come back, I'll let you see what these fantastic pasties look like on the inside, and of course have a taste. Looking forward to this one. Right, time to cut one open and see how we did. And the pastry is crisp, and just look at that wonderful golden brown colour. And doesn't that look absolutely delicious? Right, time for a bite. And that really is delicious. If you like your corned beef pasties from a certain retailer in the UK, you're going to absolutely love these, because they're so much better and bigger. This is truly a gorgeous pasty, guys, well worth a huge thumbs up, and I really hope you give these a try. And as promised earlier in the video, here is the latest name splash and shout out list, including YouTube's brand new loyalty membership supporters. And they are Monica Pauls, Lady Susan Ainsley, Annie de Queeb, Nidia, Azapane, Jens K3250, Brian Kelly 7403, Lefty Two Fingers, Imran Bakish, Tony Walsh and Dermot Sloan. Thanks very much, guys. I really do appreciate all that you do in supporting the channel. Well, thank you again for watching. Please like, share, comment and subscribe by hitting the circle above. If you do subscribe, activate the bell icon next to the subscribe button on my channel page. And by doing that, you'll be automatically notified every time I upload a new video. And in the meantime, here's a few of my other videos and playlists that you may want to watch. So until the next time, be safe in your kitchen and bye for now.